Hello and welcome to today's episode of KnapChat. You're going to hear from Steve and James from Systematic and Oodle, our stablemates here in the creative corner of Caistor. They'll talk about infinity pencils, sustainability in corporate gifting, the change of marketing over the last 50 years that their business is running, and much more. Hope you enjoy and thanks for joining us again. Hello and welcome to another episode of KnapChat, the podcast for people who put the planet first. I'm delighted to welcome onto the sofa today James and Steve from Systematic and Oodle, our next door neighbours. Welcome, chaps.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming all the way through the building into the sofa, which is actually your sofa, isn't it?
It used to belong to us, but in the interest of the environment, we've upcycled it to you guys.
Very good. We are very grateful for that. But you didn't have a spare chair, so we've had to acquire one ourselves.
Sorry.
We'll work on that. Would you like to explain what Systematic and Oodle does and do and their relationship with each other?
Yes, I will answer that. That's fine. Systematic was set up about 50 years ago. 50 years ago this year, in fact, as a print and marketing type company. In the last 25 years, we've offered design as a service, but we've never really branded it as such. But in the last couple of years, we developed Oodle as a brand, sub-brand, which is Steve. He's one of our designers, to really showcase skills in that area. Steve's happy to talk more about Oodle, but Systematic, long-standing business, been around for a long time, marketing mainly, and my role is one of the directors, one of the owners now as well, at Systematic.
And that's been a couple of years, hasn't it?
It's been a couple of years, yeah. It's been since it was the same year, in fact, that we set up Oodle, so 2023. That was the case. One of the first things to do was to create that sub-brand.
And then, crucially, to welcome Napton Wright into your office space.
Yes, it was very important, yeah.
We're working together, and this is like a creative corner of Caistor, which I think works very nicely with the skill sets we have. Because, Steve, you've been in Systematic for 10 years?
15.
15 years?
15. But wow. You don't say it, I started young.
Yes. Straight out of primary school.
Yes.
And have you always been in the design part of that?
Yes. So as you alluded to, like with doing it all through school, college, uni, I can't spell. I can draw, luckily. So I had one skill and I pursued that skill. And yes, I've been at Systematic. This is my 15th year. I'm a founding member of Oodle.
Which is fast becoming effectively an agency of its own, isn't it? It's a design agency.
That was the idea. It was that wrongly, some of our clients didn't necessarily perceive us in that way when we're Systematic. Systematic's quite a straight of the line sort of a sounding name. It's systems. It doesn't say creativity and free flowing thinking. So the directors, when they took over the business, to be fair to them and give them a lot of credit, they put their faith in us as creatives and said, what would you like? How can we build the momentum that we've got with the design services at Systematic? And out of that spun Oodle and sort of breaking away a little bit.
But still with the shared values.
Still with the shared values,
the most important thing, really,
same people as well. So same people, same values, just slightly different outwardly perception.
And James, you've been in the business for quite a while as well, haven't you? As sustainability, because I know that is a major part of what you do now, and it's very difficult as a sort of a company that is responsible for printing stuff, collateral and producing, providing, supplying, that kind of stuff. It is very difficult to be truthfully sustainable. But I think that one of the things I love about your business is that you do that openly, transparently, and you do it very well.
Yeah, no, thank you. I've been here 10 years, and ever since I started, it was it was obvious that it was part of the company's DNA, that focus on doing good for the environment and the focus on sustainability. The company was one of the first or an early adopter of the ISO 14001, which is an environmental standard. That was in 2009. And since then, we've gone on to focus more on reducing our carbon impact. We do a full carbon footprint these days as well. And we just want to be transparent about what we're doing. So, but it's, as I say, it's been part of our, it's rooted and it's part of our foundation as a company of focusing on doing good for the planet.
And I think one of the things that I really like about the more I've got to know you guys, and bear in mind that Knapton Wright has worked with Systematic for the best part of 10 years in one way or another. We have complementary skill sets, and just this morning we were having a load of stickers, which Steve quite corrected me, they're not stickers, put on the window graphics.
Stickers are small things.
Yes.
Put them on your lunchbox. Yeah. These are a bit more impressive.
Okay, well, yeah, quite right. Yes, you're not so bad with words, but yeah. So and you guys supplied those, and you made sure that they were the right style for what we needed. And that actually, we as an agency, we want to be focused on being more sustainable, and you provide the right stuff for that. And I think that's really important from our perspective. And I think one of the things that I'm interested in from your point of view is that sort of good business charter. Is that what you subscribe to as well?
Yes. I mean, good business charter is not very well known, but we are a member of that. It's only been going for 4 or 5 years, set up by Julian Richer of Richer Sounds.
Oh, was it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the founder, and they check out the website because it's they have 10 components of what they believe and we agree make a really good business.
Yeah.
One of which is obviously an environmental focus, but there's maybe it's a bit off topic, but there's loads of good stuff on there about paying people promptly, as we've spoken about in the past, and other sorts of things that make a good business. But we are one of the members of that, and Oodle more recently as its own sort of agency has also become Good Business Charter accredited. I appreciate it's in theory similar sort of businesses, but we had to obviously go through the motions and get and ensure that what we're doing at Oodle marries what we're doing at Systematic and following all that good stuff.
I think that, and at least interesting. I've had interesting conversations with Jackie, one of the other directors, about you've ended up doing some work for Good Business Charter, haven't you? Some design work.
That's how we found out about them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So initially, we didn't know about them until they inquired for. Was it brochure, Steve? I mean,
it was animation.
I was animation initially, and led on to other sort of projects with them, brochures and annual reports and what have you. But it was, and then we were like, oh, this business looks great. This is this organisation would be something that we very much want to be a part of. Yes,
and maybe if B Corp's listening, we're going down that process. So we could always do some work for B Corp. Maybe we could collaborate. But it is interesting.
Subtle hint.
Yeah. and so you want to live those values. You want to make sure that you keep up that accreditation with them. And do you then find that your clients are asking for more sustainable type products and solutions? And I realise it's slightly different in the design world, but I think that our approach to this is that it's almost like minimising waste. Don't waste time on stuff. Don't waste revisions. Are you finding that your clients are asking about those sorts of things?
Definitely, yeah. We would say that more of our clients are asking about sustainability. I mean, in some cases, they don't want to talk about it because for fear of, which is green hushing, for fear of being sort of challenged that, what they're doing is not good enough. And what we say to that is we can support clients like yourself with their procurement decisions because we've got the knowledge and the understanding of how to do that. But equally, it's we want to have an open conversation. We want to be transparent. We want to sort of say, instead of for fear of getting it wrong, instead of doing that, maybe we should be saying, okay, let's really sort of focus on the things that we can do, and that's what it's about really. It's not about sort of thinking I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to get it right, or I'm not going to do it good enough, whatever it looks like.
I think it's one of those things that I was talking to a chap I know who runs a business in Scunthorpe, and he talks about his business talks about better, not perfect.
Exactly.
No one's going to be perfect, are they? So if everybody's doing it better, then the whole world's going to be a better place, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
We're going to try and repair the planet, repair the things that our forefathers
yes.
have done. And so, you've taken on this established brand, and it has its values, rooted in 50 years. How have you found doing that, and sort of taking on that legacy and looking to the future for the way that you want the business to grow?
Yeah, I mean, we're still business to business, but we continue to evolve. We mentioned 2023. It was a big year for us for lots of reasons. We launched Oodle, which felt like a real positive step forward. And yeah, I'd say that creativity is now really at the heart of what we do. We still have the people that we have here as well, they've obviously been on quite a journey with us in the past, but they're still at the heart of.
You've got a really well-established team, haven't you?
We do, yeah. We've got very long services. People don't like to leave us.
There'll be a load of carriage clocks coming their way.
Yeah. Some form of reward. Yes.
But to have a business that's been so successful for 50 years, and has been able to sort of not refocus, but point itself in a more sustainable direction in an industry that isn't necessarily all doing that, and actually people are now having to play catch up with organisations like yours, and you're based in a market town in rural Lincolnshire. There are all sorts of challenges coming your way, and you seem to be. How are you batting those off?
So speaking as an employee, it's quite central to all of us. Caistor, I'm sort of Scunthorpe based. There's a lot of the staff are based in Grimsby. We've got quite a few in Lincoln, and that's very representative of the local client base as well. So it's a good hub to travel from. Recently invested in an office refurb as well, so that was
very nice.
That was nice.
Yeah, but you didn't need the sofas. So
didn't need the sofas. They were surplus to requirements. To be fair, you don't want to know what happened on these sofas. So. And so it was nice to. It was nice to go through that process as well, because that was another evolution.
Yeah.
Expanding the brand as well, and it came at a time when the birth of Oodle. So we've got our own little Oodle corner as well that's all been dedicated to us, and then of course we've got some new neighbours. They're a bit noisy from time to time, but they're not too bad.
Yeah, but they're a wine merchant, so
yeah, it's great. Yeah. So and of course we hybrid based working as well. So again, from a company sustainable point of view, we look into the staff travelling into the office and out of the office into meetings and things. So working from home, then there's not the impact on the environment of someone travelling into the office.
Yeah.
Regardless of if they've got an electric car or not, because that's got to be charged, and does it use fossil fuels as an energy source, and blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff.
But the office itself has got PV panels on the roof.
Yes, that's correct.
Vans
got electric van, electric pull car.
Yeah.
So if we're in the office, we do our utmost to use one of those vehicles. If that's not possible, then the directors allow us to borrow their electric vehicles as well.
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot being done sort of on a subconscious level as well, and a lot of this stuff was already there as well.
Yeah.
We just didn't necessarily tell anybody about it.
I think you're doing much better. Not you're doing a bad job before, but you seem to have focused heavily on the sustainable.
Yeah.
Gifting.
I think it was a humble thing as well. Yeah. It was just a sort of because there's this value set and it's across the entire business. It doesn't get ingrained to you as an employee. You just, through your interview process, I guess, they get the whole fit thing. So we've all the employees have a very similar value set, and it was just a case of why do we need to tell people? Because it's just what you would do as a decent human being. And it's like, well, actually, a lot of people aren't doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe we should tell people that we are, and hopefully influence them in the same time.
Sometimes as well, I tend to think that if you can't beat them, join them. And sometimes it goes against your better nature to go, well, I guess we should put something on our channels to tell people what we're doing, rather than just getting on with it and keeping your vast swathes of clients really happy and keeping in touch with them. Sometimes you've got to do something different and something interesting that tells your story in a way that the kind of clients that you want to work with are attracted to you. Do you think, on a wider industry perspective, that's what kind of challenges do you think are being faced by, print marketing companies and particularly your clients with the demands that are being placed on them?
Yeah, I think this comes back to this idea of not knowing, for our clients anyway, not knowing how to get it right. I think there's a lack of knowledge in the area. I also think there's been this age-old sort of argument about, print is dying or that sort of medium. We have had the benefit of expanding our sort of range of different services and educating ourselves in sort of current matters so that we're able to offer a particular type of well-rounded service for our clients. Obviously oodle being another string to our bow, but we've actually found quite the opposite when it comes to printed matter. We think it's evolving but certainly not dying. We obviously, in that, there's a stigma, I think, a little bit about it's the think before you print thing. We often get a bit frustrated, shall we say, with that sort of mantra, because the reality is that the printing industry, there's a really good website and a really good organisation, again, that we're associated with, Two Sides, that tell a different story about tree planting and other sort of environmentally focused projects that are funded or sort of initiated by printing companies like ourselves. Wow. And the printing industry is responsible for the most amount of tree planting, for example. So there is another side to printing, and educating and learning that some of these are stigmas, and we need to break through those. And so those are the kind of challenges that we face, and our clients also, as I say, facing challenges when it comes to knowing which way to go with their sort of green or sort of carbon reduction plans. It's we often try again in a very sort of light touch sort of way. If our clients are looking to buy thousands of plastic water bottles, then we might say, well, actually, it might cost a bit more, but you can maybe buy less recycled ocean plastic water bottles or something. That's an example of where we're trying to do a bit better and pass on sort of knowledge that we have to help them make better buying decisions.
And to put yourselves forward as consultants rather than just, yes people.
Yes,
for sure.
Can you do that? Yes. Yeah, we'll just do that.
Yeah, we're keen not to, supply plastic pens and stuff if we can, or there's certain pens you can get these days which, well, you want to talk about an infinity pencil, Steve, or the Eternal pencil?
The Eternal pencil, yeah.
Is that the fidgety one, or is that
no? This is the pencil that never runs out, and say never runs out. I think it lasts the same amount of time as 250 regular pencils. Who tested this? I don't know. They had a very boring couple of weeks, just constantly, just constantly.
I think one of the taglines was that it will outlast you, and you just think that's a bit menacing in a way, isn't it? This pencil is going to live longer than you.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a pencil that never. We have it as an oodle corporate gift, a little giveaway, because it's relatively inexpensive. But the amount of people that receive it as a promotional item, and they're just blown away by. They can't get their head round the fact that this thing never goes blunt. You don't need to sharpen it, and it just seemingly lasts forever, and yet leaves a mark on the page.
Why? How does it do that?
Yeah, everyone asks that question. We're a bit confused as you are. Yeah, we don't question it because we don't want to do that.
It's one of those things. It works, and that's all you need to know.
And it's good for the environment because, yes, like Steve says, it outlasts lots of other pencils and stuff. But yes, better buying decisions where we can. Appreciate that often budgets are tight and what have you, so we're not trying to be preachy. We'll offer an alternative, but we'll work with clients to achieve their outcomes. And if sustainability or an environmental focus is one of those, then we'll work with whoever just to try and do something.
Yeah, I think that's really important that you're trying to give people options. I think that's often the case in a sort of a service business like you have and like we have.
Yeah.
You just give people options, and then it's up to them to make a value-based decision. One of the options is, do they want to work with you in the first place?
Sure.
And the second thing is, what do they as a business hold dear to them? Is it, that they're only going to have to use one pencil a year or one pencil every 10 years or
lifetime potentially?
Yeah, depending on how much sketching they do. I often do some sketches in meetings. The people are in the room. Or are they going to sort of invest that money somewhere else? And it's interesting the amount of stuff that's wasted and our job, I think, as businesses that do prioritise sustainability and reducing waste is to lead by example. And I think one of the reasons that we moved into this office space was that it is better than the one that we had before, and it is more environmentally friendly, and it not only enables us to work more collaboratively as a team, but also closer with you guys and work on projects together and things like that. So I think it's just making those decisions that cut down on waste, and we're not driving from Brig to Caistor and Caistor to Brig to do things. Obviously, that wasn't the main reason, but it's a bonus along the way. Do you think, just sort of wrapping things up now, do you think that the future of sort of corporate gifting and marketing and print and design and stuff, do you think that organisations, it will have to be a default thing that they go to first to say, right, I need that sustainability element? And if so, how long do you think into the future we're looking for that sort of?
Hopefully it'd just be sort of second nature, and it would be things that people would just naturally expect everybody to do, rather than having to seek out someone that specialises in it.
Yes.
The ultimate goal is for everyone just to operate in that fashion.
Yeah.
How quickly people will get there, I don't know. But until that point, we will continue to say that that's what we specialise in and aim to provide.
We want to make it easy, don't we? We want it, like you say, by default, we want it to just be we've already made the decision before we have to make the decision about our procurement processes. But yeah, I think it's going to take time. I mean, how much time is an unknown, but obviously the government's keen about carbon neutrality and all that kind of stuff, which is helpful, and that should trickle down into the industries. But yeah, it's it'll take time. But yeah, we're hopeful for the future that it looks a little bit more sustainable, a bit more sort of carbon neutral if we can, because we're going to have to do something. Not everyone can do everything, but everyone can do something. So yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take credit for that one.
Yeah, you can have that on your next T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. You have to wrap all the way around, though. I think it's quite a long phrase. But no, I think that's absolutely right. It's doing your bit, looking after your kind of square metre of the world, and hoping that the other 7.5 billion people are doing something similar. Thank you very much, folks. I really enjoyed it today.
That's okay.
Thank you very much.
What you're up to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers.